Hey folks, welcome to ADSR. I'm Stephen Ellestad. Make sure you subscribe to the ADSR YouTube channel and follow on social media for great production content. One of the things I've always been a big proponent of is the idea of continual development and practice, as a musician and as a producer. I spent my first 15 years working in the studio and the stage as a bassist and guitarist, and it was drilled into me long ago in college that regular ongoing practice was absolutely essential to developing my skills and long-term professional abilities. Over the past few years, I've mostly made the switch over to electronic music production, but I've tried to keep the same mindset, constantly listening to new music and working to develop my skills that relate to this new musical and creative direction. I've tended to focus quite a bit on the technical side of the production world, but as I've grown, I've realized that real performance skills in the studio are just as important as they are if you're playing guitar or bass or drums or working as an engineer or what have you. I've had the privilege of working with and watching some really amazing and talented producers, both in hip-hop and electronic music, and one thing I realized was that to them, the sampler and the keyboard were just as much an instrument as my bass or guitar. And these guys had obviously put just as much time and practice into developing their skills with the sampler and working on finger drumming, cue points, and all the other techniques that are the foundation of modern electronic and hip-hop music. As I talked to them and I watched how they approached the pads, it was apparent that there was much more than just some good musical talent and rhythm. They had put in the time and work to develop specific skills and techniques. And these techniques certainly varied depending upon their style and influences, but it was clear they had approached learning finger drumming and the art of sampling and sample performance just as diligently as I practiced, say, sight reading and improvisation on my bass or guitar. Over the past few months, I've been working on developing a series of courses and a book on the art of creativity in modern music production. And as I was researching for my chapter on training and techniques, I came across a website called Melodics. Now, Melodics is basically a training program for finger drumming and cue point drumming, and it's designed to develop the wide range of skills and technique that's really necessary for modern production in a number of styles and genres. So I decided to take the plunge and I signed up for Melodics and I downloaded the program. And after working with it for several months, I feel like I'm making some serious progress with my own skills, and I wanted to share the program with you. While Melodics isn't free, you can either pay monthly, annually, or buy a lifetime membership. They do offer the first 20 lessons for free, and at various times of the year, they open up additional content for everyone as well. So I wanted to walk you through the basics of the software and the program and give you a sense of what it's all about and why, in my opinion at least, it's really worth checking out. So the program is based on levels, and as you complete different lessons, you level up, and you can either proceed one lesson at a time at each level or follow courses that focus on specific skills and styles of music, and they really do cover an awful lot of genres and techniques. So this is the basic screen that you see when you log in, and you can see right away that I have a number of options. I can choose to continue working on a lesson I was already working on, and then this shows me where I might go after that. I can look at, say, an interview or information from their blog. I can see a current practice goal that I'm working on, practicing 4 days a week for 4 weeks. And I can see that my goal for today, I've already got that time in. Up here, I can come up, I can access lessons and courses, my account, audio settings, etc. The first thing is we can see we have connected devices. I have a Machine Studio and my control keyboard hooked up right now, but you can really work with just about any MIDI controller. I'm using the Studio right now, but I've used several other assorted controllers that I have lying around as well. And so I wanted to take a little tour and demonstrate the software and give you a sense of whether or not this might be a good choice for you to work on your own skills. Their basic idea is really to motivate you to practice for at least 5 minutes a day, but to do it regularly. And there's a whole bunch of tools and incentives to help you do just that. So let's take a look at the interface. We've already seen the home screen, and I've got the lessons screen. And we can see ranging from grade 1, currently I've unlocked up to grade 6. Lessons and levels get very, very much more difficult. I've got some favorites that I've set up as I've worked through. I'm currently at level 5 myself. But when we look at, say, grade 1, we can choose all of these different ones. We can choose what style, what genre, how we've played it, and whether we've scored 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars. You have to score at least 1 star on the full lesson to pass to the next one. I've typically gone just straight through the grades, but we can also go through by courses. But before we do that, I want to take a look at maybe one of the basic first level courses. When I click on this, it shows me a little bit of information about it. This is a slow jam recorded by the Isley Brothers, and it was sampled years later by Ice Cube, and then Dilla reworked it, and Thundercats Them Changes also samples it. We can preview the lesson, and we can play it now. And what happens when you get into the lesson screen is we actually see which fingers. We can preview the step itself. And depending on what kind of controller you're using, like on the Machine Studio, I'm actually seeing the pads light up as it plays, etc. So I can start at the first beginning level, and I can either click my keyboard or just click with the mouse. So let me demonstrate this one for you. And green means I'm hitting it in perfect time. If I'm early, it's going to be orange. If I'm late, it's going to be purple. If I miss it entirely, it's going to be red. And because I did get at least enough for 1 star, I can see I hit 81 perfect. I was early on a couple, I missed a couple. Now I can go to the next step. And it shows me I can bring in the kick. I've already done that one, so I'm just going to go to the next one. And this is how I test out of the lesson. So you can see that's obviously a pretty basic lesson, but I can assure you it gets much more difficult. And when I come up here to say, even a basic grade 2 one, it's going to be much more challenging. So we can see that we definitely advance fairly rapidly in difficulty. And once we get up into stuff at level 4 or 5, things get very much more challenging. But I don't want to spend the entire time just showing you the lessons, but instead, I'll go back and show you the courses screen. So we can also go through a number of courses. They're based upon different genres and styles. Hip-hop basics, the evolution of hip-hop, dance revolution, cue point drumming, daily warm-ups. And then, of course, there's an introduction to melodics that just walks you right through it. And we can go to our account, and if we need to adjust our audio settings, it's really easy to do. I'm currently running through my built-in output, but I can set it up through my interface or all kinds of other interfaces that are attached to my system and adjust my latency right there. And the neat thing is that they're very responsive. It's really easy to give feedback or ask questions, and you can easily just pop in to send them feedback from the screen. I've been able to talk to them very easily. So it's a really simple setup that challenges you quite a bit, and it gives you these incentives. We can download all kinds of samples from the lessons. In fact, if you refer somebody, you'll sign up and you'll get a free sample pack for the lessons. So really worth checking out. I really think this is a fun and really useful way to develop some of your skills. I'll be looking at this in more depth in an upcoming course that's focused on creativity and becoming more productive in the studio, but this should definitely give you an idea of what it's all about. I really can't recommend it highly enough. Definitely seen an improvement in my own skills, and I've discovered several artists and styles that I wouldn't have necessarily found without this tool. So if you're looking to develop your finger drumming and cue point drumming skills and explore a bunch of different styles and techniques, Melodics might really be a great way to go about doing that. And remember, you can do the first 20 lessons for free, so there's not really any harm in checking it out. I'm Stephen Ellestad for ADSR. Make sure you subscribe to the ADSR YouTube channel. Follow on social media for great production content, and we'll see you next time. Take care.